Rina is a corporate finance specialist and coach. She is a director at Faida Investment Bank and is a certified investment and financial analyst by ISIFA, as well as an authorized representative under the GEMS market segment at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Rina holds an MBA degree from Strathmore Business School and a Bachelor of Business degree majoring in finance and marketing from Edith Cowan University, Perth, Australia. Over the last 18 years, she has increasingly become a recognized voice of financial literacy and investor education. Her desire is to see a financial sector that will promote a high level of savings to finance Kenya's overall investment needs. Rina's mission is to demystify investing, saving, and financial planning. Her desire is to propel Africans to greater heights in management of their finances, creating nations of financially secure families. She does this through the platform MoneyWise with Rina Hicks on YouTube. She's also an author of the book MoneyWise, Create, Grow, and Preserve Wealth. She's also a co-founder of RH Group Limited, a company involved in investment consultancy, coaching, and training, and is a certified professional coach and a member of ICF. Through her professional training sessions, Rina has worked with individual groups and corporates. She also came with her daughter. I don't know how they're gonna do a tag team there. So, State House girls, please put your hands together for Rina Hicks.
State Ho! How's everyone? Did I say it wrong? Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh. Being here brings a flood of memories. But before I get into all of that, I want to introduce my little baby, who is almost your age. How old are you guys? 16? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, so she's very far from there. She's 11.
Okay, my name is Tusekile. And I'm 11 years old, and I'm happy to be here.
In a short while, I'll tell you why Tusekila is here. But for now, let me go back to where I was. It brings a flood of memories. Standing here, I'm reminded of the assembly when I and a friend of mine in fourth form played a duet in piano, and we had won at the Kenya National Music Festival, and so we're presenting to the school. I'm also reminded how at 6 a.m. we used to train at the swimming pool just across there in the morning. I don't know if there's anybody in the swimming team here. Woo! Fantastic. We trained at 6 a.m., changed, went to class, came back at lunchtime and trained again. I don't know whether you do that, but we were fantastic swimmers. State House girls played a core role in forming who I am today, and it is such an honor to be here this afternoon. I want to just share a few things. Actually, just want to share two things. One, I want to share my regrets, and two, I want to share my learnings, just three, that I hope you will carry with you every day and as you carry on with your life. I was hoping that Maina would not read my entire profile, but the truth is I have had very many years to build that profile. I am 43 years old. Yes. Okay. And I left State House Girls High School in 1995. I don't think any of you who are seated on that side were born. So well, except for the teacher, my biggest regret is that I did not talk to strangers when I was at State House Girls. What I mean by that is I had a tendency to naturally congregate with the same friends throughout my life while at school. I went to St. George's Primary School and I came to State House Girls, and a few of the girls who we went to St. George's Primary School with, we transitioned to State House. And we were friends. And so we stayed friends, we finished as friends and left. And I didn't really get to know other girls within the school. Why is it a regret? When I look at other colleagues in the industry that I am in, they're able to get favors, get ideas, get opportunities from old boys, old girls who went to the schools that they went to. And I feel like I missed out on making huge relationships with those that I went to school with. I regret not talking to other girls that I went to school with. So my encouragement to you is, as you're interacting with others, don't just go to lunch with the same people and have tea with the same group and do the same thing. Talk to other people in other classes. I was in 4L. I was in L. So if you're in 4L or 3L or 2L, talk to those who are in other classes like G and... yeah? If you're in Twiga, like I was, talk to those who are in Simba, right? Are you hearing me? Yes. Talk to strangers. My second biggest regret is the fact that we had free opportunities, to learn so many things that I didn't bother taking advantage of. I guess being young, you kind of take things for granted, okay? So at that time, I don't know about now, but we could learn piano, we could learn drums, we had art club, there was swimming and basketball and netball and hockey and handball. You know, there was, in fact, as I walked down here a short while ago, I saw this East African MUN. Those are such amazing opportunities that you can take advantage of that help you grow and develop as a human being. You're able to grow your confidence as you speak to people. You're able to grow your ability to convince and to debate and to negotiate by being involved in those sorts of activities. Some people may look at swimming as a waste of time, or look at netball or handball or hockey as a waste of time. But can I tell you that the fact is that the world today is about being able to interact with others, having social skills, ability to communicate effectively and to sell. Even now, we are able to have machines do a lot of the things a lot of people are trained to do in universities. And as you finish school, make sure that you live with soft skills. Do you know what soft skills are? Soft skills are those things I just talked about. Not being able to do math and multiplication. Computers do those things, and it's great if you can do them. But in addition to learning to do those things, you must learn how to negotiate, how to lead, how to convince others, how to have social skills and interact with people who have a different racial and tribal background, and spiritual background, ability to talk to others. Those are the soft skills that I regret not having built at a young age. My final regret, and it has just jumped away. Now I told you I'm a mother of 3, so I'm allowed to forget some things. Actually, it's a very simple one. My final regret is not having pursued piano further. It sounds silly, but I really regret. Can you imagine? I came first in the Kenya National Music Festival in the country, and then I didn't touch a piano again. And when you don't practice something, you lose it. Do you know that? So let me go into the things that I really want you to learn. So this is my second area. Now, a lot of times I guess you come to school and you're here to do something. You're here to be number 1 and to get your B or A or whatever it is, and you don't think about other things as being important. When I look back at the things I've been able to accomplish, whether it is job opportunities, whether it is business or customers or clients and being able to sell, it is because of networks and connections. So let me give you an example. When I left, actually let me tell this other story instead. When I left State House Girls High School, I desired to study abroad. I really wanted to study overseas. And unfortunately, my parents did not have the money. My mom and dad, my mother, at the age of 23, had 3 children at the age of 23. So she had to postpone her education and could not continue. And as you can imagine, they were young, still trying to make it through life. And as siblings, we were very close in age. So there's myself and my brother and sister who are twins, and we're only 2 years apart. And so when I talked to them and I said, I want to study abroad, they were like, yes, that would be fantastic, but we don't have the money. And I said, look, I think I can make it work. I will work and find work jobs, and I'll be able to make money. But if you can find tuition, I think I can manage it. And so my parents agreed. And I thought, how easy could it be? Except I had never managed money myself. And so I went off to Australia. My parents saved everything that they could and sent me off with enough money for 6 months. And after the 6 months, I would have to then look for money for my upkeep. 4 months in, I had spent all my money. I only had 3 Australian dollars in my account and no more money and no job. For 2 weeks, I went around to my other colleagues, the other students. I lived in student housing, to ask them whether I can come to find out what homework was, because I didn't know and I forgot what homework was. But the real truth is I didn't have food and I wanted to stay long enough to have dinner. And it happened for 2 weeks. After the second week, I got embarrassed because I had gone round to everybody's, unit is what we used to call them. And this one day, I hadn't had breakfast, I hadn't had dinner, I hadn't had dinner the previous night, hadn't had breakfast, hadn't had lunch. It was now time to go to bed, and I could not sleep because I was so hungry. I was starving. So I woke up, I went to the kitchen, and I opened my cupboard, hoping that an elf or something had left, magically, something for me to have. But there was just a tin of coffee and nothing else. So I boiled water, I poured myself that coffee, and as I ate it, my eyes sort of just drifted to this bin. And there was an over-toasted slice of bread. You know how you can toast bread and eat chomekas? And it was black on both sides in a bin. So it's not nice and tidy. It was yucky in a bin. So I just picked it up, I scraped it off, and I ate it. That's the day my life changed. And I realized I can't just live life and hope that somebody somewhere, somehow, will come through for me. I am it. And I have to learn everything I can to make the best opportunity for myself. And so my ask for you today is this opportunity that you have. Sometimes you look at an opportunity and you're just like, I hate the school, I hate my class. We're constantly complaining. You have an opportunity to make something of yourself. The fact that you're in a government school gives you opportunity. The fact that you're in State House Girls High School gives you a fantastic opportunity. I can see different colored ties. Some of you are leaders, prefects, house captains. That's a fantastic opportunity for you to learn and to grow, irrespective of what everybody else says. Are we together? Now, don't wait until you have to eat from a bin to make certain decisions. The second one I want to tell you is a story about giving 100%. When you have an opportunity to do work or to perform somewhere, give it the best that you can. I had just begun this particular job that I am in now 18 years ago. Maybe now it's 16 years now, and I was still kind of new in the job, and I was trying to, I was single, I didn't have children, and I had time. And it was 5 o'clock, and my colleague tells me that, Rina, I need to go pick up my children from school. Can you handle these 5 people who've just walked in through the door? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I can help them. And these 5 men came, and I had to take them through the process of opening accounts to trade in the stock market. It was 5 o'clock. Usually at 5, everybody wants to leave and go home. But I was happy to help. And that began a journey for me to make and create a relationship with these 5 men who were in an investment group. And I served them. Sometimes they'd ask me, can you come and talk to us at 7 p.m. at Nairobi Club? Or can you come in the morning at 9 on a Saturday to talk to us about how to value shares. Anybody would have said, no, I work between 9 and 5 and you have to come to my office. But I went out of my way. They were not paying me any extra. And I went out of my way. About 2 years later, after that, one of them called me and said, can you send me your CV? And I said, I can't give you my CV because I have no intention of leaving where I am. He said, no. I'm not asking you to change jobs. I want you to send me your CV so that I can find an opportunity for you and you will still be able to work where you work now. And I thought, okay, no problem. So I gave it to him. And I remember it was in July of this 1 year. And I got a call from the Ministry of Youth Affairs. And this lady said, my name is Nancy, come to Kencom House, 3rd floor. And I'm like, for what? For a meeting. Anyway, that was the beginning of a journey of me getting appointed with 6 others to develop and form what is now called the Youth Enterprise Development Fund. I was in my 20s. I was appointed by the president, along with 6 others, to help figure out how to distribute 1 billion shillings in that year to all entrepreneurial youth all over Kenya. How? Can I tell you how? The gentleman I served, who was among the 5, happened to be the permanent secretary of the youth ministry in Kenya. I didn't know. I didn't even read newspapers. I didn't know who they were. But I served and gave 100%. I tell you, even if it is a toilet in your house, can you clean it properly? Are we together? Excellence will take you far. Whether it is cleaning a shower, writing a report, or doing an experiment in the lab. That is what will create opportunities for you. I have one last one, and then I sit down. The last one is a story of when I was 13, just before I joined State House. It was lunchtime, and I was so tired. I hadn't slept the night before, and we were seated in the field at the school. And so we were seated and everyone sharing stories, and everybody left. And this friend of mine asked, are you okay? And I said, I'm just so tired. And she said, what happened? And I told her the night before, I hadn't slept. And she asked me why. And she said, I told her my aunt was having nightmares. And the reason she was having nightmares is because she'd been on a journey. And I explained to her, you see, my aunt was seeing lions and leopards floating around her room. And my mom had to go and sleep with her, and we couldn't sleep, all of us. She's like, why is she seeing, what happened? I told her, well, she's Buddhist, and so when we, she chants every night, and she told me, stop. She's what? And I was like, yeah, she's Buddhist. What are you talking about? And I told her, she's Buddhist. She's not, yeah, and she's now starting to see these things. And she started to shout, this girl. And she said to me that those were demons. And I'm like, what? You're going to go to hell. And I'm like, I don't want to go to hell. What are you talking about? So I didn't come from a Christian background. I didn't come from a family where we went to church or, celebrated a certain religion. We didn't have much spirituality in the home that I grew up in. And so all this was new to me, other than what we had done in religious studies in school, CRE. Now, she asked me, do you want to go to hell? And I said, no, I don't want to go to hell. Obviously, she was 14, I was 13. And she said, then say this prayer after me. And so I said this prayer after her. I didn't know what was going on. And she said, we have to go to your house. We have to go to your house because there's a problem there. So we went to my house. We're supposed to be going to class after. It's lunchtime, right? We're supposed to go to class after this. But we ended up walking to my house, which wasn't too far from the school. And we get there, and she said she has to pray for every single room in the house. And she prayed for the 14 years old. And she prayed. And then we prayed, and from that day on, I became born again. And my life has never been the same. Now, I recognize we are of different faiths, so just allow me to use this as my testimony. It is my story. I'm not enforcing anything on anybody. But I can tell you one thing. The thing that is going to enable you to navigate through this life and the waves and the storms and the craziness that comes with it is being rooted in faith and knowing that you are not your own. There is a God who lives and he loves you and he has a good plan for you. He has a purpose. You are not just here to float around. You are born for a reason. You are here to fulfill his purposes. And the sooner you plug into him, the sooner you will be able to walk in peace, to walk confidently, to walk with your back straight, knowing that you are someone. And in each and every one of you is a spark of greatness. And until you tap into that knowledge that there's a God who's great and massive and mighty and he loves you, you will struggle. So I encourage you to take time to develop that aspect of you, your spirituality. God bless you, girls.